Hey guys, welcome back to Hustlin Horsepower. We're getting ready to head out to Onondaga Dragway in Michigan for Detroit Hood TV's Pour Your Own Puddle. So come on out. It should be a hell of a time. We're looked over the car last night, and we're getting ready to fuel up the truck and head out after some line dancing. So guys, I was out here in the shop, in the trailer, pretty late last night, probably about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I spent about probably 3 hours, probably a good 3 hours, just looking over the car, planning out some little changes that I want to make, and figuring out some things that I want to change before this race at Crossville. No major changes, but there's a couple things that I want to incorporate into the car. In doing so, while I was looking over the car, of course, I'm checking nuts and bolts and stuff like that, going over everything. It came down from the wheelie pretty hard. Just want to make sure everything was good to go. Want to check some things, want to test some things on the front suspension as far as the 3 shock setup and stuff like that. Wanted to see if there's other ways that I could incorporate the 3 shock setup into what I'm trying to do. Now, as far as what is activating when kind of thing. So, in the back of the car, I noticed that when I changed the ride height, I missed something. My shocks were actually bottoming out on the brackets. I change ride height quite often. I change a lot of suspension geometry quite often depending on where we're racing and what we're doing. And I'll be getting into those videos a little bit more in depth. We have about like 20, probably 25 build videos on this car that have not been edited, that I just don't have time to edit them. Me or Maddie, we're pretty freaking busy and we're not good at editing videos. That's why you guys get raw footage here for the most part. Very basic editing. But there's another thing that I want to talk about as far as that issue that I found. Usually when you make suspension changes or this or that, and this is the I don't know, pot calling the kettle black, I guess you could say, because I totally missed it and I didn't do it. And it might have came back and it might have been biting us in the butt for a couple weeks. The car still worked pretty well, still ran pretty good. We made it down to 8 cars at War in the Woods. That was $15,000 to win. We made it down to 8 cars, and the door flew open, so I pedaled it and it probably cost us that round, but we probably would have made it down to 4 cars, and we would have had a hell of a battle to go farther than 4 cars. Even making it into the top 8 was a pretty good feat at that race. There was a lot of fast cars there. But as far as this goes, when you're making suspension changes with a leaf spring car, a leaf spring car doesn't run coilovers, okay? With a leaf spring car, it's a good idea every once in a while, beginning of the season, end of the season, and halfway through the season, to take your shocks off the car and bounce the car up and down and make sure it just, I don't know, it bounces like a brother going through the hood or something like that. I don't know. You want to make sure all that stuff is working nice and smooth. If you have shackles or sliders or this or that, you want to make sure nothing's binding up. Whether it's your wishbone, anti-roll bar, you want to make sure none of that is binding up, because any binding in there comes into your shock adjustments, as far as your shock settings and stuff like that, compression and rebound, okay? If you have tight spots in your movements before the shocks come into play, your shock settings ain't doing nothing, okay? So, now, also, if you run coilovers, and you can't take off the shocks, essentially, turn those things to full loose on compression and rebound, and that car should move up and down freely, okay? And you want to move it through all of the throughout the whole suspension travel there, okay? Make sure everything's working right. Also, there's some changes that need to be made on this car. Not changes, just some little changes that I want to make. I'm probably going to be doing some aerodynamic changes to this car for Crossville. That's a water burnout only, and back end of the track deal. And this car usually works pretty well there, even though it's a big block, even though it's got a lot of rotating mass. I built this car for those type of surfaces. That's why I don't care that it's ugly. That's why I don't care that it's got mismatching wheels on it. Of course, I'd like to have matching wheels on the car and stuff like that. And of course, I'd like to have non-burnt up pieces all over the car. But financially, it's just what we had to work with. And as far as functionality wise, it works. So, I don't want to flip this video around because then I got to edit it. But okay, we're gonna go through. And so last night and the night before, I set up the trailer pretty close to the way it needs to be. We got the car in the back here. We set up the toolbox. Just threw the stuff in here because this trailer is unfortunately sold. We made a deal on another trailer. If you saw the last video, I'm sorry for repeating myself, but we need to reach out to as many people as possible to find us another one of these trailers. 4-post lift in the back. This style 4-post deal up front. Needs to be a 3-car hauler, non-lift gate, and so on and so forth. So we got all of our stuff down in here. We got a welder down in there and stuff like that. Welder and some fabrication stuff because I occasionally weld stuff at the track to make a little bit of money. Try to pay for fuel, try to pay for entrance fee, this, that, whatever. What's in there? The helmet and stuff like that. I need to order a new helmet. I'm going to get myself a Christmas gift this year. Buy myself a new helmet. Then a little bit of wild turkey in there too. I don't drink a lot. Once in a while I'll have a shot. And that wild turkey, honey with raspberry sweet tea is just delicious. Now, don't get me wrong. I literally drink like almost never. I did have a little bit last night because it was me, myself, and I was just sitting there looking over the car. But we got the tire rack up here. We got spare tires, some big tires, some fresh 28s, scales, merchandise. So the next trailer needs to have all this room up here for all the merchandise and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I don't even think that's all the boxes of merchandise. We got some more up there. So it needs to have this lift here and the 4-post in the back. This one's fixed. There's no hydraulics on it. No, there's no hydraulics on it. No cables. No nothing. It's fixed. And I'll be moving this platform around a little bit to fit the 33 up in this area. Right now it sits at like 58 inches, and the car sits at 60 inches. So I gotta lower the lift 3 inches here. But as you can see right here, it's almost right on the rail. So I gotta move this platform over that way, like 2 inches, and then the 33 could fit up there. So this trailer is pretty nice, but unfortunately I purchased it. And a friend of a friend was like, hey, I'm willing to sell my trailer. We made a deal on it, agreed on a price, and we were supposed to buy that Sunday. Like literally like 5-6 days after we purchased this trailer. So I sold this trailer pretty cheap. So I had the money to go buy the other one. And other people backed out. So fortunately enough, the new buyers are letting me use this for until November, until we get back from Crossville. That's that big race down in Tennessee, Halloween weekend. Tonight, Maddie loves line dancing, so we're gonna go out line dancing. And then this is Thursday night. We're gonna go out line dancing, and then we're gonna be jumping in the truck and we're gonna be heading out. So I need to fuel up the truck still, do a couple little changes. I need to make some modifications to the shock brackets here shortly, so that the shock brackets, so that the geometry, there's no binding in the shocks. The shocks aren't going to bottom out on the shock brackets, so that the car can go through its full extension and compression, I guess you could say, without having any interference of anything. It's barely touching, but it does affect shock settings. So here's just another little raw video for you guys, giving you a little update. Once again, we're looking for another one of these trailers. Sorry there's not a lot of action in this video. Maddie is working on those videos from last weekend and stuff like that. So guys, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's been a hell of a journey, and we appreciate all of you that go and support this deal. From purchasing t-shirts to, I don't know, everything, right? Just following along on the YouTube channel, anything, the support, the comments, positive comments, negative comments. Also, give us some input on what you would like to see on the channel, okay? I'm going to probably try to get into some more tech videos and stuff like that. We're going to be posting those up. Probably the build videos on this car. I think we're going to start those in November, December-ish, because I'll be out of commission. There's a good chance I'll be going in for my surgery early November, sometime in November here. And we'll have plenty of time, and we won't be doing a lot of work. I'll be stiff, so my hands will be tight. So we'll be getting out some of those videos then, and we'll catch you all up and get you acclimated. So we should be able to do like 2 videos a week or something like that of the build videos, starting here in November is the plan. But you know how that is. Plans change. We're busy as all hell. So it's a lot of work. But it's a hell of a ride, and we appreciate you all following along. Thank you. Hustlin Horsepower here. Lady Gangster Racing over on Maddie's channel. She's a bad donkey. And we're probably going to test a little bit tomorrow night, either at Onondaga or Marion in Ohio. And then we're racing at Onondaga Dragway Saturday for Detroit Hood TV's Pour Your Own Puddle. And that's going to be a hell of an event. We appreciate all of you that are coming out for that event. Stop by. If you have some young kids, we generally try to give out free t-shirts to young kids that come to the track for the first time. Now, we can't afford to give them out to every young kid. Sometimes I give away a little too much and puts ourselves in a pickle, but hey, it's all good. This is what we do. This is what we love. And if we can extend that to the rest of the racing family, or bring in some more people into the racing family, that's what it's all about. I'm extremely competitive, but at the same time, this stuff costs way too much money, and it takes way too much dedication not to enjoy the hell out of it. So we try to make the most out of it every time we're at the track, whether it's putting a smile on a little kid's face, or spending some time with some of the, I don't like calling them fans, but new friends at the end of the night. I mean, sometimes we're out there till, or sometimes like we're out there till, so at US 60, quick story here. At US 60, we got into town at 6:30 in the morning. No joke. The sun was rising. I posted a picture. It was freaking beautiful, the sunrise. And driver's meeting was at 9:30, so we slept like 2 hours. That was after driving all the way home from Oklahoma. Yep. So we slept for like 2 hours. And then we were up until like 4 o'clock in the morning, hanging out with some people after the event. 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So that was a long freaking day. On 2 hours of sleep, and then driving home from Oklahoma the night before, 2 nights before, and then racing at Wagler the whole day. And the trip from Wagler to US 60 was only supposed to be, I don't know, like 3 hours or something like that. It took us like 5 or 6, but that video's coming out. So we'll catch y'all up soon. Thank you. And yeah, maybe the next video you'll see us eating lunch at a Texas Roadhouse tomorrow afternoon or something. I don't know. But we're leaving late tonight when we get back from line dancing. So see y'all. Have fun. Hopefully see you at Onondaga Dragway in Michigan for Detroit Hood TV's Pour Your Own Puddle.